After a jam-packed, highlight-filled three-day swing through Israel and the West Bank, Prince William right now about to take off and leave the Holy Land. Thanks for tuning in for your daily dose. The last few hours certainly were the most poignant and the most personal moments of this trip for the Duke of Cambridge. He visited several holy sites in Jerusalem's Old City that resonate for him from both a religious and familial connection. Let's go live now to Jerusalem with our UK correspondent, Jonathan Sacerdoti, who tracked the prince's every move. Jonathan, where did the prince go in the last few hours exactly, and why were these stops so significant?
Jeff, this has been perhaps one of the busiest days on the tour, and that's saying quite something. This morning, the Prince enjoyed a view from the Mount of Olives, being given a guided tour of Jerusalem's history and geography from that viewpoint. Following that, he went to the Church of Mary Magdalene, where his great-grandmother, Princess Alice, is buried. She is the member of the royal family who saved Jews during the Second World War and is thus remembered as a righteous among the nations. After that, he then went to the Al-Aqsa mosque and then on to the Western Wall, where I am now, right behind me. And after that, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Now, the events that took place here were quite extraordinary. He went through the crowds rather than having the entire wall area cleared in order to go to the wall and say his own prayer and place a note in it. And at the same time, there was a bar mitzvah going on of a British 13-year-old boy, which he happened to crash. Here's what that boy had to say to me when I spoke to him immediately afterwards.
Very nice. When I was doing my aliyah, suddenly I saw him looking at me, so I sort of raised my voice a bit more, and then he sort of waved at me, and then the chief rabbi waved at me, and obviously they were trying to sort of get the chief rabbi's attention because he is our neighbour. So when he saw who we were, he sort of waved as well, which was really nice.
It's unbelievable, Jonathan. I mean, really, what a lucky kid. What a story he'll have for the rest of his life. But I want to ask, just now that this trip is all said and done, as Kensington Palace had insisted and promised, was this in the end truly a non-political event?
I think we could safely say that it wasn't a non-political event. It suddenly got very political just around the time the Prince went to Ramallah. I would say there's two reasons for that. The day before, the British government announced it was increasing and bringing forward the millions of pounds of aid that it gives to UNRWA because they were concerned about the schooling of children who benefit from UNRWA education in the Palestinian-controlled territories. Now, that money has gone down recently because America has withdrawn some funding, and that's because UNRWA schools have been found to hide rockets in Gaza, and there have even been suggestions that some of that money may find its way to Hamas occasionally, with the killings of innocent people by terrorists being rewarded sometimes by the Palestinian Authority as well through other means of aid given to them. And that means that this turned the entire trip into something of a controversy. But Prince William is now on his way back to the UK, and we'll have to see in the coming days what the fallout will be from that.
All right.